Hey everybody, how's it going? Let me fix this here, sorry. I need to do this. Spirit told me this morning to make sure that I did a live on my phone, on my other account. So that's gonna be kind of interesting, right? So we're gonna set that up. There we go. All right, so we'll see how that goes today on Bill Hobart. So we'll see what happens. Hey Adrian, how you doing? See who all pops on here. Hey Kathy, I'm excited about your house. I gotta hear about it. What's going on with that? Okay. Just so you know, on Bill Hobart, on my Bill Hobart Facebook page, I normally do my Facebook Lives on my Bill Clairvoyant page. But today, Spirit wanted me to do it on Bill Hobart, my Bill Hobart page also. So you'll see me back and forth, okay? Oh, that's awesome. Look at you, Kathy. Hey, Heidi, how's it going? How was Sarasota? Siesta Key must have been beautiful. So that's awesome. Hey, Jessica, how are you? No, 50s are next week, starting on Sunday. Yeah. Hey, Sherry, how's it going? It's interesting. Hey, Haley, how you doing? Oh, that'd be awesome. It's interesting because on my iPad, I have a nice brown, like a kind of a calm tone. On my phone, I'm really pale. I don't like that one. It's also weird too. Yeah. So, but we'll let that keep on going. Okay. Yeah. Lots to talk about today, you guys. So, yes. Lots to talk about. A lot of cool things in the last 5 days. Yep. I'm talking like epiphany flood, WTF kind of stuff, you know? Yep. But Adrian, next week is supposed to be in the 60s. Yes. Oh yes, this week's energy is so much later. So much later. I am good. I'm ready for Hawaii, yes. As you can tell by what's interesting about the TV is that 5 minutes ago, the live feed shut off and said it wasn't available. So I'm frantically trying to get back on, right? So I took the table out of the living room and moved it, hey Carson, moved it back into the kitchen to have my backdrop as being the wall in the picture, right? So then Spirit says, try again. So at 2:58, I tried again. And guess what came back on? That. So I pulled the table back into the living room. I'm like, really? They're like, yes, you know. Hi, Suze, how's it going? Hey, Richard, how you doing? Yeah, so it's interesting. Yes. So we'll see who else pops on here for a minute, and then we'll get started with the stuff, all the good stuff that we have to talk about today. Yeah, so everybody watching on my Bill Hobart page, I normally broadcast my Coaching for the Souls on my Bill Clairvoyant channel. So if you are not friends with me on that channel, please go over to please friend me on Facebook under Bill Clairvoyant so you won't miss my Coaching for the Souls. Okay, cool. Okay, so, man, there's lots of people just popped on. Awesome. Okay, hey Amanda, you're on the wrong space. You should be on Bill Clairvoyant. Oh, thank you, Heidi. I appreciate that. Okay, first, all kinds of different stuff has been going on, you guys. So, hey, Michelle Peterson, how you doing? Welcome to my Coaching for the Soul every Thursday at 3 o'clock that I normally do on my Bill Clairvoyant page. So if you'd like to see it next week and the week after, I've just done on my Bill Hobart page for maybe this third or fourth time. Friend me on Bill Clairvoyant so you won't miss it. It's also all my Coaching for the Souls are on my YouTube channel at Bill Hobart, okay? So let's get started. Okay, so first, energy has been just amazing for the past probably 4 or 5 days. Okay, I'll just tell you a little bit about what's going on for myself. You've seen, hey Sandra, you've seen all my. I hope you've seen all my postings about the threes, right? And that's just like flooding me, which is fabulous, right? My mom died 33 years ago yesterday, and I posted that and all the threes that came up, and how the threes have. I got a remembrance from 2 years ago about the threes, and then today I did the new Steve Noble guided meditation for your inner child, which I didn't really need, but Spirit said do it, so I'm like, what the hell? I'll do it, right? So I did it. It was pretty freaking cool, and it ended at 33 minutes and 33 seconds. So it's like, okay, I'm getting the message. I went through and Googled it and all those kinds of things. So Spirit is saying about those, right? That now's the time when the energy is going to bring you all kinds of different messages, okay? And it's interesting too that I follow a guy named Phil Good. Hey Veronica, come over to my Bill Clairvoyant, will you? Instead of Bill Hobart, that will be easier for you. Then you can ask questions and things. You can do it there, but I will dominate will be the Bill Clairvoyant, okay? Yes, Jessica, it's a careless number. It's just, I'm just blown away. So I follow a guy named Phil Good, right? And I found him a couple years ago, right? Just kind of this cool. Hey, Susan. And he really is connected to his guides. And so it's interesting is that on Friday of last week, I did a reading with someone, and I've known for a while, and she's a lovely woman, and she was saying to me, I needed to charge more for my readings, right? And I need to charge $100. And Spirit says, yes, I should. Instead of marking them down, which I'm not doing anymore, there's no more discount readings at all. They're all going to be regular price. And I will tell you why. Is after that reading with her, Spirit and I had a conversation about the fact that, hey Ryan, I'm afraid of money. I'm afraid of making it. I'm afraid of first off, disappointing people, right? Who maybe can't afford that. Which again, if I've talked to you in the past, I will always do readings for you at whatever price you can afford, okay? So I don't want anybody to feel like I'm not available to them, okay? So if it's $65 an hour, if it's $70 an hour, it doesn't really matter, okay? But they will be at $95 or higher going forward, okay? So I really had a conversation with Spirit and myself on Friday after I had this reading, right? And I was like, you know what? It's true. I deserve to make $100 an hour, right? I'm really good at what I do, and I'm really connected, and my connection has gotten stronger in the last year or so. And yeah, you know what? I really do. So Saturday, I wake up in the morning, and I had already had my conversation with Spirit on Friday about, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to. Thank you for showing me the fear, right? Thank you for showing me that it's the one fear I have left, right? That has been with me forever. And I kind of calculated on a Friday night, probably since I was 12 years old, but then also from past lives, right? Bringing that from past lives, that energy and things. Again, my parents both grew up in the Depression. So of course that is going to be inside of our DNA, and then suffering way back, right? So I went, okay, I'm going to focus on exactly what I need to focus on. And when I start to get that feeling in my chest, around my heart, right, I'm going to talk out loud. I'm going to say, oh, no. We're not doing that anymore. No, we're not we'll be fine. I know rent's due on the 5th, and we don't have all the money yet, but we will. Believing and trusting that the universe is going to take care of me like it's going to. Instead of being afraid that they're not going to. Negative energy, right? So then on Saturday, wake up and I'm going through Facebook Watch, which I do all the time, just kind of like chilling between getting Bailey settled and Lee getting settled, or I can kind of get on the couch and kind of just put my earbuds in and just kind of like look on Facebook Watch and kind of get my day kind of started pretty good before my readings on Saturday, right? And Feel Good pops up there, right? Blows my freaking mind. Blows my mind, right? Spirit always brings you what you need, right? You just have to be open to it, right? You just have to be like, okay, unconsciously going through Facebook Watch and there's Feel Good, right? And he wants to talk about fear. And I'm like, really? Really? And Spirit says, watch it. So I watched it all the way through. And everything that he says, I know. I know. But it's hidden down deep, right? That fear's a lower third dimensional vibration that doesn't serve us, right? Doesn't serve us at all, right? And that it's like a weight that just holds you down in the ground and does not allow the energy, the money, whatever you need to come to you, right? Because, again, I talked about this before from Spirit, that the more you want it, the more you expect it, the further away it gets. And I didn't understand. I was dead out. That's what I was doing, right? It's exactly what I was doing. And I love the way that Spirit delivered the message, right? Through a young woman that I've known for probably 5 years. I probably have done, she does energy healing, and she's an intuitive energy healer, and she's amazing. And it was just so interesting how it happened, because messages come from everywhere, right? As long as we're conscious, as long as we're open to it, right? And they know that I'm always open, always open. Hey, Katrina, how you doing? Slide over to my Bill Clairvoyant page, and you can ask questions at the latter half of the reading, or the Coaching for the Soul, if you'd like. If you're not a friend on Bill Clairvoyant, which I believe you are, friend me, okay? After we're done, but I'll try to keep an attention on my cell phone, okay? So Saturday, listen to the message. Went, oh my freaking God, are you kidding? This is exactly what it's supposed to be. Okay, so then I was toiling in my head. I took a shower. I did my readings for the day, and it was nice outside, kind of, sorta. And I told Liam, got to take a walk. I got to clear my head. He's like, yeah, I can tell that you do. And I said, yes, I do. So I took an hour walk around the complex, and again, conversations out loud, being outside, going through and just working through with Spirit, right? And him showing me, and hey Katrina, there you are, and really getting the message, right? And really, I'm open anyway, most of the time, but just allowing myself to flow, right? And having conversations, which I just love. I love to just have conversations with my guides and just, blah, 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 and this and that and the other thing, right? And everybody should do that, okay? Even if you're just talking loud to yourself, you don't hear anything, you don't feel anything, you will eventually, right? So work that all out, came back, Lee says, well, you look better. Well, thank you. We made some decisions, right? Because in Feel Good's video, this is true, you have to cut the addiction, right? You've got to stop it. You've got to stop that energy that you're giving away that's yours, right? You got to take ownership. You got to go, you know what? No, I'm no longer giving that fear away. I'm not going to put that fear energy out there, which stops me, from receiving the abundance so that we can move. And that's when it was like, you cleared the block, the money's on the way, it won't be here, it will be coming very, very soon. And then I remember in the video, Phil saying, it takes time once you clear that energy for your computer, your energy, right? To click back on and start to work again. Especially after, for me, 40 some years, right? So, almost 50 years. God dang. So, like 48, 49 years. So that was like, oh my gosh, hey Veronica. That was like a poof, right? And I think I put that on Facebook, like, it's like poof, crazy, right? So, feeling good, feeling that energy, right? Being conscious. And every time my ego would click in and go, yeah, but what if, yeah, but what if, yeah, but what if, I would do my talking out loud, say, no, 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 no. I'd do the tapping on my chest. No, Spirit, you got to take that away. I am conscious. I'm not going to let this derail us moving. I've done that for 3 years, right? When Spirit always says that there is no time in Spirit, they're true. It's freaking true. It's crazy, right? Had I known, again, right? Had I known this was what was stopping us from going when we believed we were going to be going, I would have done it sooner, right? As the human. But as a spiritual leader, as a spiritual person, right? As Spirit has said, as the guru, which I don't believe I am, yes, you are. I would have done it sooner, but I wasn't supposed to. And that's something that we're going to talk about next. Understanding your soul journey, okay? Understanding that nothing in your past is wrong. Nothing. Everything that has happened in your past was supposed to happen, okay? Your soul's the one that signed on the dotted line, right? That this was a soul journey and human is not supposed to know until you elevate yourself, right? Let yourself ascend to a point where you can actually understand, receive the messages and understand that what I am doing is understood. I get it. I get it. And then you remove that guilt from yourself, right? You remove that and get ego out of the way. Because I'm telling you what, I've talked again, I think I spoke about this on, it was either last week or when, because time is like, doesn't really matter. I'm crazy right now. It's not your job to carry around the sorrow. It's not your job. Ego loves it, right? It's totally involved in that stuff. But no, it doesn't. It's not worth it. It's not yours to carry, right? So understanding that you got to let that stuff go. Understanding that everything that has happened to you in your lifetime is your soul journey. It's your responsibility to heal that past, right? That's what humans on earth for, with a soul, right? Is to learn. So you don't have to do it next time, right? And everybody's childhood is crappy. Doesn't matter. I have not met one person who has ever said, oh my God, my childhood was full of love and bliss, and oh my gosh, I didn't want or need for anything. My emotional child was fully fulfilled. And oh my gosh, nothing ever. No. There's always going to be something that is in your soul journey as a child that is there to be reckoned with. So that, like Spirit always says, and this is psychology too, I believe, for the first 13 years of your life, your ego tapes everything that happens to you. Everything that's negative, right? Everything. Energy, conversations, how you're spoken to, how many times you're told to be quiet, all kinds of different things. Then when you mature at 13, 14 years old, ego hits the play button. So for the next 70 years, you have to overcome all the junk that ego taped. Soul journey. Makes sense to me now. Didn't know it then, right? So that's what is so very, very important. Understanding that you're not to hold on to that. You're supposed to clear it. You're supposed to go, okay, I get it. Again, I did the Steve Noble new meditation for inner child. I think that came out 2 days ago, and didn't really think I needed to do it. But Spirit kept saying, "You need to do that. You need to do that. You need to do that." I'm like, "Okay, fine." Did it before we did this, right? And before I did a reading, and it was pretty like, okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, it's amazing. So if anybody, I'm thinking everybody should do it, because it is extremely clearing, and extremely pinpoints, right? And you can focus, and he calls in the angels to help you, and all these other cool things that again, I know Spirit says if you allow yourself to hear it, okay, if you allow yourself to hear it, which is what it's all about, right? Hey, Chrissy, right? So for me, it's been help and help and help and help and help and help, right? Yesterday, my mom died 33 years ago on 3-3, okay? All the things about the threes, right? The house I plan on buying in Kihei, Maui is 1614. It's a 3. I live at 3369. It's a 3. The house I want to buy in Kihei, it was the third. It was the third house on Zillow 3 years ago. No one's lived in the house for 3 years. It's been empty. So again, that's where the energy is going, right? That's where everything is moving in the right direction. And as Lee says, well, Bill, because one of our friends has always says this, there's a message in everything. He's like, okay, Bill, there's a message in everything, okay? Well, yeah, there kind of is, okay? You can always find something if you're looking. If you're not looking but just paying attention, that's when the message is for you, okay? That's when the message is for you. And understanding that, okay, it's a message, but it doesn't give you a date, doesn't give you time, right? It doesn't give you all the things that a ego mind would give you, which I lived in 17, 18, a little bit in 2019, and before that, big time, right? Not being who I am, not being who I am now, right? Gosh, if I was this person 5 years ago, I'll tell you, things would be a lot different. But whenever I think like that, and that's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be here. You know, to see that bird fly by. That was crazy. That was crazy. I think it was a woodpecker or something like that. That's nuts. And understanding that do you want to invest in something that might be a message? You don't really have to. Okay, just write it down. Keep it in the back of your mind. Whatever you want. I put it on my phone because that's what it's all about, right? It's a remembrance, right? It's a remembrance. So like I said, yesterday, 333s, blah, blah, blah. I had amazing dreams last night. I had dreams of things that I have no idea what they were or what they are, or I have a tendency to have dreams in third person, okay? Kind of the outside looking in. It's very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. And I have shapeshifter, where I turn into a wolf. I've done that in the past and things like that. Yes, it's very, very interesting. So, Sega chimes. And I know, Spirit says, this is the energy that the earth is receiving at this time, is progressive energy. It is, and he says, and the ones who are alert, the ones who are connected, the ones who are truly open to the message will be amazed at what happens for the next 2 months. And even Feel Good, which again, I love confirmation, right? Had spoke about March and April are going to be amazing months that the energy is lifted, and we're going to receive so much information and so much knowledge, and people are going to be just lifted up by their angels and moved forward to the point where they're supposed to be, which is pretty amazing. See? Pretty amazing. And getting out of ego, getting out of being stuck, right? Being stuck doesn't serve you at all. And Spirit also says, understanding by sitting down and going through the timeline, right? Hi, Laura. How are you? Good to see you. That when it happened, when the switch happened, when is the event that's in your childhood that triggered the rest of your life for the negative? Okay. My did your mother and father get a divorce? When did mom cheat on dad? Right? When did my mother get killed? Right? Or there's always something in everybody's childhood. Okay? In everybody's childhood, there is a turning point. Normally, between being born and 13 years old. Okay? Sometimes past that, but not usually. Okay? And if you can pinpoint that, guess what? Hey, Scott, guess what? You can actually heal that part, right? If you know what you need to heal, you can do a Steve Noble guided meditation. Now this new one is perfect for inner child, right? And focus on that, right? Actually focus on it. Hey, Abby, say, and that's what it's all about, is understanding that you can do that. And at least you have the knowledge of, oh, that's when my mom and dad got a divorce. That's when I found my dad cheating on my mom. Or that's when my brother got killed, or my sister got killed, or whatever, right? Or my dad and mom split up and my two older brothers went with my dad and left me, I feel, again, abandonment and all the things that go with it, guys. Because the human mind is amazing. It's amazing coping ability, right? But then trying to understand it when you're grown, I don't know how many people I talk to that defend. No, that can't be it. That really didn't affect me. Are you kidding? You weren't even grown. You were a child. You're like 9. You were like 5. You're like 12. Of course it did. Oh no, it didn't at all. Hey, Dorothy, right? Because their coping mechanism tells them, their ego tells them that it didn't affect them, which is not true. It's not true at all. See? So that's the point where you have to go, okay, that did affect me, and I've got to do some searching in that. I've got to do I've got to pay attention. I've got to pay attention to that, right? So that I can focus in on, why am I the way that I am? Because the way that you are is not right. It's not correct. Now, I've talked to 3 people in the past week who I talked to a year ago, and they're the same person today, whining about the same things that they did last year. Same thing. And I would say back to them with love, we're going over the same things that you and Spirit talked about a year ago. I know. I just didn't. Well, why now? What's the turning point? Why now? What are you being pressured to do? Why now? And why do you think that anything that Spirit tells you today will be different from last year? And usually that clicks in. Usually they get that. It's like, oh, you're right. But you know what? I'm different this year. I feel like I'm ready. Okay, that's fine. I'll have a conversation with anybody, and so will Spirit, right? And that's what's so important, right? That no one knows when the time is going to be, right? That you're finally going to go, okay, I'm done with being who I am. I really need to move forward. I really need to understand and take care of the way that I feel, because how long can you sit in a place that's kind of like a sewer, right? How actually long can it be where how long can you be in that spot, right? Where where you are just floundering and you're not happy. How long can you be unhappy? That's Spirit's always saying. Well, how long can you really be unhappy? How long is it going to take? Right? Well, it's been like 55 years because I'm 55. Okay, well, guess it's about time, huh? And that's the key. Where's the point? Where's the point of understanding? Ryan says no expectation to be open and receive. Ryan, that is great, right? But if you haven't done your work, you're going to take that and go, well, what does that mean? I don't understand that. What does that mean? Okay, if you were at the level you're supposed to be at because you did your work, right? That's what it's all about, Yes, Veronica, how long will the problem own you? That's true. That's the way it is, right? And being conscious, you guys, that's the key, is how long will I carry this sorrow? How long will I not be on my own? How long will I stay in this marriage? How long will I allow my children to verbally abuse me? How long will I allow my mother and father to verbally abuse me? How long is that? again, you have free will, right? You have the ability to say, see you later, bye. That's one thing that Phil talks about, is the fact that is it a fear of leaving and not being able to make your money, right? Well, that's going to keep you locked into craziness, right? Is it the fact that because so you give your power away to whoever else? Hang on, guys, I got to turn this off. It is an ionizer that's in my house, and it is making my throat tickle, so we got rid of that. I did the same thing last week. So understanding that it's you, right? And being able and understand that I need to make that I'm done feeling like this. I'm done feeling like this, and that's okay. But then how do you, like I talked to one person, I said, well, have you reached out for resources? And she said, no. Okay, so how do you, well, I don't know, that's where I'm trapped. So she's 12 years old. I need somebody to rescue me, please. I need my mom or my dad or a man to rescue me, to tell me what to do because I don't know. Well, then you're talking to me, why? In hopes that you can tell me what to do. Okay. So give her, again, have a conversation, things like that, right? She receives it. Wonderful. Okay. Send her meditations I could do for most people, right? Check back 4 days later. How's the meditation going? I just can't get myself to, okay, thanks. Right? The only way that you are going to allow yourself to be in control of your destiny and allow the spirit guides and guardian angels to move you forward into the place you're supposed to be in fourth dimensional energy is to do your work. Okay? Explaining the meditation schedule, right? And doing all those types of things, because we need structure, right? The only way that human being changes behavior is by structure, right? Only way. Free will, you're not going to do it. There's no way you're going to change your behavior by that, right? It's about doing the same thing every day, doing the same activity, doing the same meditations on Monday, and then a new one on Thursday, 5 weeks in a row. Maybe 6 weeks in a row, maybe 8 weeks in a row, whatever it takes to get you to understand that your behavior is changing because you're on a schedule, right? Sherry says, once she's done, I speak out loud to request the resources to help me understand how to move forward and then become aware. And then Sherry, I can't see anything else. And that's true, guys. Again, talking out loud. I don't know how many times I tell people, are you talking out loud to your spirit guides and guardian angels, to your guides? Well, no, I do it in my head. Or no, I don't know what to say. You just have conversations, right? Again, it's all about release. It's all about release. It's all about letting it go. It doesn't serve you at all. But also, when you release that energy, right? It clears the air, and then they can push things and bring things to you. Say. I did have an epiphany. Today's Thursday. Yesterday, where Spirit said to me, if you're continuing, and this kind of ties in with what Phil was saying, right? About that if you've been giving the same script for the past 25, 30 years, right? Even a decade, even 5 years, hell, right? It takes a while for the energy to dissipate once you stop doing it. Didn't even know about that, right? Phil said something similar, right? But Spirit laid it down in a reading. Because I was talking to somebody who is just entrenched in feeling bad about themselves. I want that right there, but I don't think I can have it. I want that right there, but I don't think I have the money for that. I want that right there. Okay, well, what are you doing about it? Well, that's the problem. I just can't get myself. Okay, well, right there, right? So as we're having a conversation, the word ego came up probably a half dozen times. That's ego. You're right. Oh my God, why do I do that? Because you're trained yourself to do that. And the more that you round and round and round in your head, right? The more that you, again, in your head, right? The more that you tell the story of how horrible your life is. The more that you tell the tale, right? The more entrenched it gets inside your DNA. Don't do that shit. Oops, sorry. Don't do that stuff. It doesn't work. It might make you feel better because you're spewing out whatever you want to spew out, but it doesn't serve you at all, right? And the people around you don't want to hear it. That's just who she is. Well, that's not who she's supposed to be. And either are you or you are you, Understanding anybody who allows themselves, right, to clear their energy, become a brighter beam of light, right? Others around you follow. Doesn't matter if you're the weakest link or not. Guess what? You're not the weakest link if you're able to, over time, clear out your energy and move forward. Not at all. You're not the weakest link at all. See? You're actually doing what you need to do to get yourself to the next plane, get yourself to the next level, to allow yourself to ascend, to allow yourself to really, truly connect, right? And feeling light and buoyant and wonderful and lovely. And that is contagious. That is contagious. And understanding that you need to remove yourself from places that are negative. See? Okay? If you're in a negative family, guess what you got to do? I can see you for 2 hours on Sunday, but that's all I can do. Well, how come you can't stay long? No, I can do it for 2 hours. Well, that's not fair. I think you should. Okay, I'm glad you think that, but, or I can't come on Sunday, right? Again, it's about understanding that you have to take care of yourself and your energy, okay? Because if you don't, they will absolutely steal your joy. You'll be infected with all that energy, and then you come home and you have to do okay, I've got all this energy that isn't mine, and how do I can tap all night, I can do a meditation. No, that's not gonna work because you allowed yourself to be in the sewer. And washing it off isn't going to work. It's about being conscious and understanding that you have to make sure that you don't put yourself in that situation, even if it hurts somebody's feelings, okay? That's what it's about. Because who's the most important person in your life? You. If you don't think that, you got to start thinking like that, right? Chimes. My welfare and my well-being and my balance is much more important. I love you, but I'm more important. You can call me selfish. You can call me anything you want to call me. Weird, crazy, whatever you want. That's fine. But I won't be there on Sunday at 1. Okay? I can come for 2 hours, but, and then I will guarantee you that the more you put yourself in that arena for 2 hours, you'll be like, I won't be at dinner on Sunday. How can you give away your family? How can you blah, 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 blah. Y'all are dysfunctional. Do your thing. I just can't be in that cesspool anymore. Why? Because I'm too important. I love you, but, right? If you want to do one-on-one, that's fine. But the family, I can't do that. There's too much noise. There's too much everything, right? So understanding that is 65, 70%, Spirit says, of the process, is understanding the energy that you don't want to go into. The energy that you know is there. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. I don't care how much pressure mom puts on you, dad puts on you, aunt puts on you, your grandmother puts, no, not going to do it. Not going to do it. And you don't need to explain yourself. You don't. You can say, the energy does not work for me. Healthy boundaries, Ryan says, and that's exactly it. Knowing what affects you and not being afraid to say that. Okay? Again, empowerment. Spirit has said, that's so freaking true. Spiritual empowerment, Spirit says. Spiritual empowerment. Understanding that my spiritual empowerment, my boundaries that I have are there for a reason. Why? To protect me. Because I'm the one who has to deal with them when I leave that energy, when I leave that appointment, or I leave that family gathering, or I leave that job, or whatever it is. See? Very true. You have to have the healthy boundaries. You have to understand that spiritually, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for doesn't work for me, right? It's true. It's true. See? And the more you do that, the more pissed off you're going to get people because they don't understand the change at all. They never will, but they're not supposed to. Okay? They're still stuck in their childhood. They're still stuck in that one thing that happened to them that you may not even know about, right? May not even know about. And another thing that Spirit wants to talk about too is when people book appointments, right? It's very interesting how everybody perceives it differently, right? That people will book appointments and things like that with myself, and will sit there and go, okay, yeah, this is who I am, blah blah blah. So tell me something. What? That's not how it works. It has to be an active interaction, blah blah blah. Well, that's not how so and so did it. Okay, I'm not that person, you know. And it can be kind of heated sometimes. It can be kind of like, okay, I don't understand what you're not getting. You obviously didn't read my profile on my website and things like that on how this actually works, right? And those are the people that afterwards I'm like, man, they got a long road to go. Got a long road to go. Tell me something about tell me something about, I had two people who passed away and tell me something about them. They're two people. I'm like, okay, can you give name? No, I'm just going to tell you that they're two people. I'm like, okay. Again, that lasted about 15 minutes, and that's all the time she had, right? And it was not a good reading. What I had to do afterwards is I had to cleanse myself of the thought that she didn't get what she expected. But that didn't come from me, right? It came from her. The energy that she gave out was not receptive. What I was telling her was not received. And so, right? That's with anything, ever. You have to go in with it, understanding that whatever I get is good. And that's in life. Readings, in life in general, right? It's all about understanding that if I put in 12%, 15%, that's what you're going to get back. If you're all closed off and stuffed up, guess what? No, you got to do your own work. You have to take care of yourself. You have to. It just doesn't work if you don't. Ditch the sorrow, right? Spirit just said, drop that duffel bag full of sorrow that you're carrying around, that hobo bag, right? He says, ditch that off in the ditch and keep on walking. And stop looking back to see if it's still there because you may want to go back and get it again. No, stop, right? And that can be also good with understanding that at age 9 or age 12 or age 8, right? That's when that thing happened to me. That's when that bullying happened. That's when somebody passed away. That's when, see, because that's more than likely the changing of events, Spirit says, that put you on the trajectory of where you are today. Why? Because that's the one thing that you keep talking about, right? Right? That, oh my gosh, I'm going to leave. My husband is cheating. I know that he is. I know that he's cheating. Well, how do you know? Because I just know it. I caught my father when I was 12, and okay, well, he's not your dad. And, again, talk therapy, right? Getting to understand that you're living in this world that is not real. It's not real at all. It's not real at all. And dealing with that, going, okay, healing that part of yourself, right? Because what you're doing in the real world does not serve you at all. It doesn't serve you at all. And that's not good. That's not good. Because we've I know, Spirit says he wishes human would understand sooner. And those that are coming after 2000, he says, after the year 2000, are better equipped to understand how to fix that sooner, so it doesn't get out of control, so that they're not in their 40s and 50s, right? They're not in their 30s. They're actually in their 20s, and it happened in their teens. And like, okay, he said because they're not confined. They're not confined by society. They're not confined to tradition. First off, because of the energy, right? Fourth dimensional energy is absolutely infiltrating everything that's going on in the world at the moment, right? And understanding they don't have the human experience under their belt this lifetime. So they're more apt to be able to recognize and change. Spirit says recognize and shift, or people who are our age, older folks' age, right? Have a long history. And I've had conversations with Spirit about that. And it's always come back to soul journey. That's what your soul chose. Your soul chose for this to happen for Bill Hobart at 54. The transformation happened at 54. Well, that's great, Again, because there's a reason. Because when I channel the books, right? By the time the first one is done, the world will be ready for me to travel the world and explain the books and understand, and so people can understand, because they'll be looking for that knowledge. And Spirit has talked about that big time with all kinds of things about that. Things are happening now, getting you ready for the future, getting you ready for the next 5 years, right? Getting you ready, because when you reach your potential, Spirit says, right? When you reach to that spot where you're like, holy shit, this is pretty freaking cool, is when everybody needs you. Everybody needs your energy. Everybody needs your information. Everybody needs you, and that's why it's happening now, to get you ready for your future, to get you ready for when they need you. That's the key. That's the key, right? Right? And understanding that's how important you are. Everyone on the planet is important, right? But there's the ones who will ascend and be the leader, Spirit says. Then there's the worshipers, the people who are on the planet living in 3D and needing to get out of 3D to have this yearning to, right? I don't like it back here. That's gross. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm still this person. This is horrible. And they're the ones that'll be searching out because they have an internal need, Spirit says, to know, like we do now, right? Pretty cool. I think that's pretty fascinating. So Laura says she's surrounded by Catholics who think I'm not going to be saved because I don't worship the way I used to. Oh my God. Saved from what? That's all hooey. Let them believe that. Just don't take that stuff on. And don't feel, she says, and feel judged. The only person that can judge you is you. Is you. That's ego. That's ego. They can yap all they want to. It's not who you are, Laura, at all. You're a spiritual goddess who is connected to who's connected to the divine and is able to do anything and everything she's ever wanted to do in her life, right? As long as you understand that and you absolutely embrace that, there's nothing that can stop you at all. There never will be. That's for anybody, right? But especially you. Don't let people define. I know. Spirit is uptight now. He's like, don't let anybody define your future. Don't let anybody define your life but you. You're the only one that matters. You're the only one that matters is you. The way you think of yourself. I see all the time on Facebook that people are, oh my gosh, they don't like me. Who cares if they like you? Are you living off their love? Buck up, sister. Buck up. No. I don't care if anybody likes me, right? It isn't a like or dislike. This is who I am. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm a nice guy. I think I treat people with respect, right? I think that I'm pretty knowledgeable on what people are asking me and things like that, right? Even in my personal life, right? I have really, really super good friends who accept me for who I am. A little weird, mostly. I got a voice in my head. I talk to spirits. I talk to dead people. It's who I am, right? Yeah. See? So the only person that should define you is you. Is you. And Laura, you are lovely. Do not allow yourself to be judged, make yourself feel judged for that, And Spirit also says, never tell people that they're judging you. Never tell people that they're judging you. Because the only person that can judge you, Spirit says, is you, is yourself, which is true. Been there, done that. Doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. Doesn't work at all. It's not worth it. It's not worth the aggravation. Not worth the energy put into it, right? The roly-poly in your head does not work at all. Ego loves that stuff. It just goes, oh my God, this is great. I got them by the tail and I love it still. No, not going to happen. Nope. And that's what's so important, is to make sure that, are you doing everything perfectly? What's perfect? What's perfect? Is there a book that you can read? Is there a book? Is there an article? No, there's not. There is nothing that says you have to do it a certain way. Just a suggestion. And I had somebody say to me today that so-and-so told her that all this just mess, right? And that she was beginning to believe it. And I'm like, well, what does your gut say? And she was in such turmoil for the past 5 days because of what this person said 5 days ago to her. This trusted friend, I am thinking. And I was like, well, she was totally spinning out of control. I'm like, well, what does your gut say? What does, have you asked? Have you blah, blah, blah? And she just rolled. And finally, Spirit just like, she was in texting and Spirit wrote something to her and it stopped her in her tracks. She was like, oh my God, you're right. Well, yeah. You're acting like you're 10, and that what this adult told you is now and now you grab hold of that because you're in 10 years old, right? In your 10-year-old spot. And no, it's not true. It's not true at all. But if you want to continue to reel it around your head, oh, that's okay. But how much energy is that? My God, it's exhausting. Just exhausting. You must be tired at the end of the day. Oh my God, Bill, I can't. Well, there you go. There you go. See? And those and people like that, as human beings, right? They're entrappers, right? They want you to save them. Okay? They want you to give me all the knowledge that you have. And well, you're 10 right now. Now, really, you're like 52, but you're talking to me like a 10-year-old. And so anything that I was to give you for in information is going to a 10-year-old. You're really not going to understand it. See? So again, that's yourself or you with other people, right? Understanding that I'm not going to engage in that. That energy is nothing for me to take care of. First off, I'm no longer a rescuer, no longer a saver, right? Understanding that people will always try to entrap you. They will always try to entrap you because that's what they do. Let me regurgitate all my energy on top of you. I feel fabulous. How are you? I'm dumbfounded and feel like, ugh. Oh, sorry. See you later. And they walk away. No, that's not. Not at all. So Sherry says, I'm so powerful. I can distort my current reality because of beliefs I took. Oh, exactly. Childhood memories, guys, are absolutely screwed up, right? It will always have one hook in your back. It just depends upon Spirit says if it's if it's a little fish hook, right? Or if it's a freaking anchor hook from a steamer, right? From a big, huge yacht. Which is it? Which are you allowing to be attached to you? And sometimes you can't uncord that. Right? Sometimes you can't uncord beliefs from your childhood, right? But you can minimize them. You can make them so that they don't control your life. That's important. That's very, very important, is understanding that, right? That they don't have to run your life. That they don't have to. The way you feel is the reason you feel like that is why. Because when you're happy and go lucky and life is good, do you ask why I feel like that? No. Because ego doesn't care then, right? But if you're in a bad place, oh my God, why do I feel like that? And ego's like, yeah, keep spilling it out, baby. Just keep spilling. I keep putting it in the library of dysfunction. That's all I keep doing. Keep on. You just made another 2 volumes. Let me put that in the. Let me put that in the library, because one day I'm gonna pull that library out and run that tape, and you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because eventually, once you get to the place of goodness, you can burn down. You can burn down the library of dysfunction. Psychologically, put some freaking lighter fluid on the thing and torch it. Yep. And if you're lucky, you can put ego in there too. Yep. It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it, way to do it, way to do it. Okay, so where did she go? Veronica. The meditation for the inner child is healing your inner child meditation, creating a safe inner healing sanctuary. Yes. That came out yesterday. Okay? And Veronica wants to know a good one for ego, any of them. Okay? Any of the healing meditations. Okay? I don't believe he's done one for specifically for ego, because ego is involved in everything, Spirit says. But if you go through and do those meditations, you'll find it. You'll find it. Again, ego, I'm not listening to that because that's not true. That's a lie. Not listening to that. I'm not doing that. Again, if you control your ego, you can actually have your life back. Okay? The only thing that ego caught me on was the fear about the money thing. I thought I didn't understand that as a human. I knew it was true, but it does not resonate with me that's what I was doing. That's why they took care of that for me, right? Last Friday in a reading, and then Saturday with Mr. Feelgood. Yep. And now I watch that video every single day. Repetition is the only way to get rid of what you got. The fear. Anything that you've got that's negative is by repetition. That's why Spirit says you do the meditations on Mondays and Thursdays. Same one on Monday, same one on Thursday, and then a different one on Thursday, and you do that thing for 5 weeks to see how you feel. You still got it, then you do it for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is, until it stops resonating with you. That's when you know you got to move on to new meditations and keep yourself meditating. I've been doing it now for going on 3 years, and I'll tell you what, Steve Noble saved my life. 2 years, 19, 20, 3 years. Yep, I'm telling you. Changed the whole dynamic of where I was going, right? All this knowledge, all this information, all of the activations that I received during those meditations is phenomenal, unheard of. I mean, I can't imagine. And Spirit says this all the time to people. He will say, after you do the meditations, it takes energy off the outside of your body and takes it off the inside of your body and things like that, and this and that and this and that and this and that. And you'll know this, and you'll know this, and you'll know this. And I'm like, yeah, you will, because that's what it does. It activates DNA that's inside your body that's already been downloaded for knowledge, for life, and understanding that there's no place to go but up. If you allow yourself to go down, that's because you've given up, and you can't do that because it's self-preservation. Only place to go is up. So it's important. So, okay, guys, I think we are done. If you have any questions, I'll write them down, and I'll try to put them in. I'll try to get them answered in the next day or so. Dorothy says, show us how you start your meditation with breathing. How long? Okay. So how long does it take to relax before you start the recording, then you start to breathe. You do not breathe before the meditation, okay? It's about getting yourself lightheaded, right? Closing your eyes, breathing in through your nose deep, like, and exhaling, and that sets you, again, you're starting to lift out of your body and off the ground, okay? And you just listen, and you just continue to do that the same way all through the meditation. Hey, hello, Teresa, right? So that's what you do. See, and that's how I get into meditation. That's why Steve says breathe in through your nose, exhale out your mouth, and elongate it. Breathe in deeply and then let it out and elongate it, and breathe it in and elongate it. That's what it's all about. Okay? In an upright chair, do not do it before you go to bed. Right? Upright chair, feet on the ground, palms up. Yeah. Okay, so thanks guys. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you. I have open appointments tomorrow and all next week. So if anybody's looking to get some information, some knowledge, some closure and things like that, I'm available. And I'll have this posted on my YouTube channel probably later today. Bay's got to go to the doctor today to get a vaccination for rabies, getting us ready to go to Maui. So it expired already after 3 years. So I'll see you next Thursday, Coaching for the Soul, Thursdays at 3.